guys, this is Nikki, aka the Dragon Queen, and today we're talking about something a little different. It's something that's really close to my heart that I absolutely love, and that is Dungeons and Dragons. Now, Dungeons and Dragons, if you don't know, first off, where have you been? Second off, it's a game that's been around since the 70s, and it is a role-playing game. You create a character, and you use a set of rules and books to help you build that character up. And then you interact in a world created by a dungeon master or a DM. Now, I currently am in 5 games a week because I have a problem. Thanks. Thanks, babe. Because I have a problem, and one of the biggest things is each game is different. Now, for me, I DM on Wednesdays, but I'm going to start playing again on Wednesdays instead of DMing. I switch back and forth between the other DM. So we each get a chance to play, and we play 5th edition. Now, 5th edition is the newest edition, and it just means that Wizards of the Coast has changed the rules a little, tweaked it to make it more interesting, and updated it, etc. Some people are very hardcore and prefer the one that they started on. I started on 3.5 back in 2003, and that was the first one I played. And then I didn't play 4th, and I play 5th. Personally, while I do see the bonuses and benefits of 3.5, I prefer 5th edition because it is slightly easier, and it is a lot more, what's the word? It's not simplistic, but they like merge things together. So, no, it's not I mean, it is simplified. Streamlined, that's the word. It's more streamlined. Because it's not simple, it's just streamlined. Right. So, the way that it works is once you build your character using the player's handbook, then you use dice to determine how you do on something. For example, on my Wednesday game, I play as a tabaxi bard. A tabaxi is a cat folk. They're humanoid looking, but they are a cat. They have a tail, they have ears. I'll put a picture somewhere up here. And a bard is someone who uses music to help support their party. Now, my tabaxi bard's name is the amazing Midnight Meowthison, and she is really just in this for the music. I am tweaking my character a little bit for my next game because we are starting over and starting fresh and jumping up to level 8. I'm going to make Midnight a male, and I'm going to make him a male whore who just wants to try to impregnate all of the women. Why? I don't know. It sounded fun at the time. My husband's questioning my sanity, probably. So, the way this works, you have lots of dice. Lots and lots of dice. This whole bag is dice. I don't even have that many in comparison. So most of us know what a D6 is. A D6 is the normal die. It's 6-sided, 1 through 6. You use them in Yahtzee. Everybody knows what those are. Now, the most important die for Dungeons and Dragons is your D20. A D20, obviously, is a 20-sided die. This will determine how well you do something. When you roll it, if it lands on, let's say it lands on a 20, that is called a critical hit, or a natural 20. Now, the way that the world works is no matter how good you are at something, or bad at something, is you have one chance to completely fail no matter what, and you have one chance to completely succeed no matter what, and then the rest is determined based off your pluses and minuses. So, let's say, hypothetically, a gnome barbarian from earlier decides that he wants to run in and intimidate an army of men to stop them from attacking a village. Now, a gnome is a tiny little thing, so you're going to see this little 3-foot-tall man running out in armor that looks too big for him with the axe that's probably smaller than most of their weapons, trying to scare them. So then you roll the die. Let's say you roll a nat 20. When you roll a nat 20, they will all be scared. Doesn't matter what they roll. All of them are going to be like, oh shit, we're not messing with that gnome. No. Back the fuck up from that guy. He's crazy. Now, let's say instead you have a Midnight. Midnight comes in and tries to seduce his way out. He comes up and goes, hey, what's up? So you're going to let us pass, right? So then he rolls and rolls a 1. It doesn't matter how good he is at seducing. It doesn't matter if he has a plus 25 or whatever to that 1, and that would beat it. What matters is he rolled a 1. So no matter what, he fails, and they're just going to be like either creeped out or confused. And confused people might get angry and then punch people in the face. I think that's in the rules. Pretty sure it's in the rules. You have to punch people in the face if you get confused. So other than that, this is your main die. Now, there are other die. There is a D4, which is a triangle. There's a D4, a D8, a D10, a percentile D10, which means you roll 2 of them and you get up to 100, a D12, and then D20 is the last one. Those are the main ones you need. When you're playing, the DM is going to make a world, make a scenario, and you and your party are going to go in and save or ruin the day, whichever one you decide. So for Midnight, he would probably go in and talk his way out of it. He would not want to hurt his pretty little face, try to seduce his way or diplomatize his way out of a situation. Where my character, Zella, who is in another game, she is a Slayer Assassin, and that's a Pathfinder game. So she wouldn't ask if they could pass. She would probably just shoot somebody first, and then ask if they can pass. Because she's a little trigger happy when it comes to her bow and arrow. She has a murdering problem. So, some things to consider about D&D. Anybody can play. And if you ever play, you can play online at roll20.net. You can play at a game store, which is what I do on Wednesdays and Saturdays. You can play at your house if you have somebody who's willing to run the campaign. Anybody can DM. You need to have a basic understanding of the worlds or of the system, but otherwise you can have pre-created games such as the Dragon Queen Horde, and you can follow that campaign, and the characters, they can build their characters and everything, everybody's hunky-dory. You can do a homebrew, which is what I do for my Friday game. You just make up the rules as you go, and that becomes easier as you try longer. Every game I've played has had an interesting spin and twist. I still have stories from like 10 years ago where my characters did epic shit. And I'm like, there's this one time I killed a dragon in one shot. And then people were like, how the fuck did you do that? I'm like, whoa, let me tell you. That character was awesome. But even today, I have characters with moments like that, where they do the impossible and they beat the odds. One of my favorite things about D&D is the role-playing. Now, the dice also make me happy because it's all luck. You can't, it's not as easy to just walk around on technicalities. You're not told what to do necessarily. You're not given a step-by-step guide on how to get to the end result you want. So your actions could completely alter the fate of the story. And the DM has to go with that. An example of that is in my Saturday game, one good roll completely changed the storyline for my character for like 3 fucking weeks. And one bad roll could have gotten her killed because she didn't say something in the manner that somebody liked. And that type of anxiety and enjoyment amuses the fuck out of me. And also, playing your characters like they're supposed to be played is just so entertaining, especially if they're not that great at something. Those make the best characters. I never understood when people do something called metagaming or min-maxing. That is when they find all the cheats and tricks to make their characters perfect, to make it so it's like near impossible to defeat them. I never understood that. It doesn't make sense to me, for example, for a assassin to take a level in barbarian so they can rage and get advantage or whatever. It doesn't make sense. A barbarian is loud, in your face, angry. Think of the Hulk. That's a barbarian. But a bard or an assassin is sneaky and trickstery and wants to sneak up behind you and stab you in the back before you even know they're there and kill you while you're asleep. I can't see the Hulk doing that. But there are people who want to do that, and that's called min-maxing. Now, metagaming is where your character says something that they don't know. So there's a thing called character knowledge and player knowledge. We're all at the same table. So you as a player might hear that the DM tell somebody else something. But your character wasn't there. So your character doesn't know that information. So it would be metagaming if 2 weeks later you're like, oh hey, remember that conversation that you had with that guy in that room by yourself? Yeah, remember that? Remember what he said? He said, da, da, da. Like, your character wasn't there, so you're using player knowledge to assist. Another example would be if you know that werewolves are affected by silver. Your character doesn't know what the fuck a werewolf is, let alone what can hurt them, so you can't be like, I have a silver dagger, stab, because you don't know that information. You have to research it, or ask around, or make a die roll to determine if you know that before you actually know it. So there are people out there who do metagame, and they kind of ruin it for some people, but some people enjoy it. So if you find a game that you're not happy with, there are other options out there. Like I said, I have 5 games right now. I don't have a problem. You have a problem. Anyway, if you're ever interested in learning more about 5th edition, I would love to help you out. Please let me know down in the comments, and I would love to help you make a character or explain further into detail. I know this was kind of everywhere. There's so much information, and I'm not the best at the game. I will never claim to be the best at the game, but I full-heartedly love it. Both F-U-L-L and F-O-O-L. Yeah. So, I'm a fool, and my heart is full. Get it? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because you look like you're confused. Okay. My husband is confused. He said it's because I'm talking. Anyway. If you've ever played D&D, I'd love to hear some of your epic quests that you've had down below. And I would love to talk with more people about Dungeons & Dragons or Pathfinder. So like it if you like it, subscribe if you want to, and this is the Dragon Queen signing off.